I've got 5 favorite apps on my iPhone that I use for planning our RV trips, and I'm sharing them with you in this episode of Travels with Delaney. Welcome back, everyone. In this episode, I want to share with you my 5 favorite apps that I use on my iPhone when I am planning an RV trip. Now stay to the end of this video because one of these apps requires a subscription service, and I'm going to tell you how you can save money if you want to join the app. Alright, let's begin with app number 1. So when I'm planning a trip, the first thing I have to do is come up with a route. And I absolutely love Google Maps. Now you might say, hey Patrick, I thought you were the big Apple guy. Why aren't you using Apple Maps? The truth is, years ago when I got my first iPhone, Apple Maps was having some issues, and so the simple solution was to download Google Maps. And I've been hooked on it ever since. I love the way it works, it's done me well, and so I've just stuck with it over the years. In addition to being able to figure out how far I want to travel and how long it will take to get there, one of the features that I absolutely love on this, and I'm sure you can do the same on Apple Maps or other mapping services, but I love being able to go into satellite mode. Because when I'm in satellite mode, we can actually zoom in on a specific location and see things like how the parking lot is laid out. So if we're going to be making a stop for, let's say, lunch, and we want to go to Chick-fil-A, but we're concerned, can we actually get in, and will there be places to park, and will we be able to exit easily with our RV in tow? Patty can simply open up Google Maps, put in that location for the Chick-fil-A, zoom in using satellite mode, and see exactly what we would be getting into if we decide to pull into that parking lot. And so we really appreciate that. The other thing that we really enjoy is the traffic feature, because that way we can get a sense if we're traveling through big cities and things, we turn on the traffic mode and it will actually show you what's going on with traffic to give us an idea whether we should reroute or not. So Google Maps is my go-to to get the planning process started. Now on to what I call the campsite apps. And so when I'm getting ready to find a actual place to stay with our RV, these are going to be the apps I use. And the first one is always our go-to app, and that is the AllStays app. Now, we've been using the AllStays app for several years now, and as far as I'm aware, it's still only available on iOS. But as long as you can get through a browser to the internet, you can pull up allstays.com and get similar services. On the AllStays app, not only can we find commercial campgrounds, but we can also find things like state parks, and national forests, and we can find things like truck stops, Walmarts, Cracker Barrels, Cabela's, all these places that may allow you to park overnight. In addition, I can also find places to utilize free or paid dump stations and places to get our propane refill. And it's very simple to use. You just find the area you're going to and start zooming in, and there's real simple to easy to read icons that are used to identify those various locations. Once you find what you're looking for, click on it and it's going to give you a lot more information. So if I find a Walmart or a Cracker Barrel, I simply click on that location and it's going to give me information like the exact street location that I can put into a GPS, or I can click one of their simple buttons that will take it either directly to Google Maps or Apple Maps and map it for me. And finally, there are reviews. And so many times we can find out whether a location will even allow us to spend the night just by reading the reviews and what people have reported back. So we absolutely love the AllStays and we use it a lot when we're planning our trips. The second one that we use for that same exact purpose is Campendium. Now the reason I really like Campendium is sometimes I will find places to stay the night, especially like BLM land, that may not necessarily show up on AllStays. But the other reason I really like it is there is a place for people to report cell phone coverage in those specific locations. So if you're on Verizon or AT&T, T-Mobile, or Sprint, as long as somebody has reported it back for that specific location, you can find out roughly what your cell phone coverage will be. And so it always gives us a little bit of peace of mind that if we pick a site that we can see, will we have cell phone coverage when we get there? And so Campendium is a great app to utilize for free. And one of the things I love about Campendium, they don't charge you for the app, They just do basically like a fun GoFundMe type campaign every year. Typically they sell t-shirts, and the money they raise from that keeps that site or that app for free. And so we're really proud that this year we actually supported Campendium and ordered a t-shirt to help in their cause, because we just think it's a wonderful app. The fourth app that I like to use is the RV Life app. Now, what the RV Life app does is it allows me to go in and look at specific campgrounds and get reviews by people who have actually camped there. Let's be honest, not all campgrounds are created equally. And so you can read a description for a campground, but it might not fully tell you what it's like. But when you read people's reviews and you see that there's lots of people saying it is really good, or there's lots of people saying it's really bad, that's going to tell you a lot more about that campground than their actual website will do. And so we utilize this if we're going to be staying primarily at commercial campgrounds, although I'll use it for any type of campground if they've been reviewed. But it just allows us to know ahead of time, is this a place we actually want to book a campsite? And based upon reviews, we have actually decided against some campgrounds before and then continued looking for another place to stay. All right, on to the fifth and final app, and this app does require an annual membership, and that is the Harvest Host app. Now, I absolutely love Harvest Host. If you're not familiar with Harvest Host, I'm going to link a video up here for you where we explain what Harvest Host is and the full benefits of staying at Harvest Host. But in short, it allows you to spend the night at a winery, a brewery, a farm, a museum, lots of different places. You pay a yearly membership fee, and then when you arrive, they just ask that you solicit those businesses. So if we go to a winery, we typically will go in and do a wine tasting, and you can tell Bess really likes Harvest Host. She's getting excited about it. And then we'll buy a bottle of wine as a thank you for letting us park on their property overnight. Now, like I said, this app is a wonderful app because it's easy to use. Once you're a member, you can go in, find all the locations, click on the exact location, get lots of information, and all they ask is you call maybe a day or two ahead of time to verify that they will have space for you. Most of these locations will only allow somewhere between 1 and 3 RVs per night. You do need to be self-contained because, again, these are working businesses, so they don't have facilities for you, although we have found a few hosts now are offering amenities for a small charge, such as plugging into electrical supply or filling up your fresh water tanks. If you're interested in joining Harvest Host, I'm going to put a link down below in the description for this video that will save you $15 on your yearly membership. And by you using our link, you're actually supporting Travels with Delaney because we get a small commission for each Harvest Host membership sold through our link, which helps us to continue to make content like this. So if you find this useful, we'd sure appreciate your support. Let me know what apps you use because I'm always looking for new apps to give a try. Leave those suggestions down below in the comment box. And until next time, everybody, we'll see you on down the road. Good night.